doing here is I'm pumping gas, or diesel, excuse me, and this is a TDI Golf, and I added about 2 gallons of biodiesel that had been sitting around for about 2 years. This is my daughter's car, and I topped her tank up. She had a full tank, drove around it for a bit, so obviously wasn't a full tank, but it was enough to handle a couple of gallons. So I put the biodiesel in, topped it up. Even if it was not super good, should have mixed fairly well with the diesel was in there. Evidently it didn't. This morning she got up and couldn't get over 15 miles an hour, and she just drove to the top of that hill and back and said, "Dad, my car's acting up. I can't go past 15 miles an hour." So anyway, I took her to work, went on TDI forum, and somebody said, take the hose off of the hose coming from the tank that goes into the top of the fuel filter, which is this hose. Put a drain hose on it. Just so happened I had this plastic hose laying around, and I had to really force that inside of that. It didn't really want to go well. You got to make sure you got to get it airtight. Anyway, you put that drain hose into, and I know this is not a diesel tank, but this is all I've got, and so you're going to pour it into your tank, get the bad fuel out. Also, the next thing you do is you take this hose off of your thermostatic T. Thermostatic T connection just fits down inside the oil filter. It's got a hose running. This is your fuel going into your fuel pump, to your injectors, and this is coming back out. That's going back to the fuel tank. So what I did was I took a little portable air compressor, kind of goes over your air valve on your car, and I found an accessory from a high pressure. It was a kit that I bought like at Harbor Freight that had all kinds of connections. After I get done doing this, I'll take this off and show it to you. But you can see even after I pressurize it, it's still pumping fuel, even though I've turned it off. So it's pressurized it to the point that when I'm back here at the tank, you can hear the air coming out of the. This is just for audio purposes. Maybe you can hear the. I took the cap off and took a Ziploc bag and placed over the hole, put a zip tie on it, and then put the cap back on it, forced it on there to see if I could maybe get rid of a little bit of the leak that's coming around that cap, so that more of the pressure is pushing this fuel. So I'm going to turn it back on and continue. One of the things I did was, when I started pumping in this empty tank, I did a stopwatch timer to see how long it took to get to there. It took about 7 minutes. So to fill the whole tank up, I figure it's about 4 more, 3 more. So I put my timer, a countdown timer, on 20 minutes, and that should get it pretty close to the top. Then I'll pull that hose out of there and stick it in there. That's 12 gallons worth of fuel right there. Turn back on, and this might be the easiest way to siphon fuel out of the tank. You're not going to siphon fuel out of there because evidently there is some way to block the hose from going down. You can see I've got all kind of stuff laying out there that I tried to use. I tried putting a hose on a kerosene thing, and I connected them together with a little nipple, so I could put this drop hose down into the tank. You're not going to get anything out of that. I pumped and pumped and pumped. It was a waste of time, so you don't want to do that. Air compressor method, definitely the best. There it comes. foaming it up a little bit, which means probably going to have to swap back and forth between the two tanks in order to let the foam die down until I get enough fuel out to take it to the next step.